They met late at night, in secret, so as to not attract attention from British officials. Their members came from the middle and upper classes. The British saw them as terrorists. They saw themselves as freedom fighters. They were the Sons of Liberty. The Sons of Liberty was a secret society springing up simultaneously in Massachusetts and New York in the year of 1765. Affiliates would soon spread throughout all the colonies. Their purpose was to organize patriotic action and shape public opinion against Britain. Ironically, the name Sons of Liberty derived from a debate in the British Parliament when Charles Townshend, a key proponent of taxes on the colonies, described them as
children planted by our care, nourished by our indulgence, and protected by our arms.
In response, a colonial defender called these patriots Sons of Liberty. Originally, the Sons of Liberty arose in opposition to the stamp tax of 1765. But after its repeal, they continued to foment colonial unrest by publicly condemning the idea of any external tax from Britain. The Sons of Liberty would incite mobs to violence against customs and tax officials. Their most famous protest would be called by later generations the Boston Tea Party. They also urged the seizing of a British cutter, the Gaspee, after it had run aground near Warwick, Rhode Island. They burned the ship and wounded the captain. Later, no one in Rhode Island would testify against the men responsible. Two of the most famous members of the Sons of Liberty were John Hancock and Samuel Adams. Adams, a true believer in the cause of liberty and freedom, was the most renowned firebrand of the American Revolution. A powerful writer, he disseminated his ideas in correspondence that circulated throughout the colonies. The most famous was the circular letter written in 1768.
An essential, unalterable right in nature, that what man hath freely and honestly acquired is absolutely his own, which he may freely give, but cannot be taken from him without his consent. Samuel Adams.
If Samuel Adams was the ideological leader of the Sons of Liberty, John Hancock was their patron. In fact, some would say Hancock, the richest man in Boston, bankrolled the American Revolution. Hancock would go on to serve as president of the Continental Congress. The first signer of the Declaration of Independence, his bold signature prompted such expressions as, "Put your John Hancock here," and "as good as my John Hancock." The Sons of Liberty disbanded in 1783, but there's little doubt that their clandestine and often violent activities played a major role in inciting the American Revolution.